Hello everyone, it's Jeneth of Secret Place Devotion. Welcome to Day 3's reading from Unlocking the Secret Garden, 100 Days of Imaginative Prayer. We have some lovely books in store today that I'll be sharing with you, and I am so enjoying going through Unlocking the Secret Garden. Each day is a special time to share with you, and I welcome you into this time as we share together in the Lord's presence, and we welcome the presence of the Lord into our time together. So I'm reading to you from Day 3. As you pass by marble statues of mossy lions guarding the entrance to your secret garden, they seem to watch over your coming with a depth of wisdom and welcome. Green hills rise into the distance in a patchwork of color and diverging pathways. There are so many routes and freedom to go wherever your heart takes you. You are entering the place of your greatest belonging. Become aware of the presence of Jesus filling the garden. God within you is spacious. Limitations lift off. All labels and restrictions fall away from you in boundless God. Jesus is bread. Feast on his life and passionate contentment. Receive the nourishment of the bread of life in your hidden hungers, where you are growing in awareness, the practice of trust, and giving yourself permission to be in a process of glorious emergence. Every hunger inside of you, seeking fulfillment, will find true satisfaction here. It is a wonderful discovery, finding that the silence you long for is waiting for you in God within. There are so many points that just pop out to me as I read this today. And for you, there will be similarly things that you can resonate with, that they seem to glimmer and your heart responds. And for me, the phrase is freedom to go wherever your heart takes you, and that limitations are falling off. And I believe we really are entering a time where the limitations that we've placed on ourselves are falling off so that we can step forward into whatever invitation is just drawing our hearts forward. And that many of us find that there is something holding us back, a voice in our minds that we are listening to saying, no, you're not ready yet. Or perhaps somebody else saying, you still need to do this many courses and such before you can do this and so, or thus and so. And I believe that we're in a time where we can take the handbrake off of things that have been holding us back and start moving forward, even if it's just small steps, into the areas that are calling to you. And the other things that are speaking to me in the passage we read today is about belonging and about receiving the bread of life, Jesus as the true nourishing bread of life in our hidden hungers. All of us have areas inside of us where we are carrying some kind of a brokenness that is reaching out for peace and for nourishment. And I encourage you today to take hold of the nourishment that Jesus is offering, that we can spiritually feast on the bread of life and take our daily hungers They're not hungers, I believe, that are there just on one or two occasions in life. But every day we have a sense of hunger that needs to be filled. And that's why it's a daily practice of presence with God, a daily walk with Him, a daily resting, not just a once-off feast that is going to last for weeks or months or years, but a daily feasting. So let us come to Jesus as the bread of life that gives us a feeling of satisfaction and fulfillment. And let us find in Him that place of rest today. As we start looking at different areas of the secret garden and seeing where that takes us, I would like to read the prayer activation. So you may like to, after the prayer activation, you may like to pause the video and get for yourself some craft supplies, some paper, and become playful in spirit and just start imagining. Imagining, what does your secret garden look like? So it says here, imagine your own secret garden of the heart. What does it look like? What are the central or focal points of the garden? What are your favorite aspects of the garden? Imagine yourself and Jesus in your secret garden. You may like to draw a map of your secret garden with space left open to design as you continue to explore in the days and weeks to come. Here is a lovely picture of a map of a garden as inspiration as I read the quote of St. Teresa of Avila. When you enter into the spiritual life through the gateway of prayer, you would do well to see yourself as one who is set out to create a garden. With that in mind, what a wonderful way to meditate oneself into the secret garden and begin imagining creative and explorative ways of mapping out the secret garden for yourself. I'd just like to share with you, so I'm going to be linking in the description below. All of the links to today's books will be there for you to make it easy for you. If you would like to get your own copy of Unlocking the Secret Garden to join in. And also there is a journal with Unlocking the Secret Garden. There is a prayer journal, and there are many activations in the prayer journal that follow along with the devotional. And some time ago, I did this specific activation using watercolor paints. And I'll also link, if you're keen to watch the journaling process, I'll put a link in the description below. So this was my depiction of my wild garden as I imagined using watercolors and just trying to be playful and not perfectionistic about art. It is something that I've sometimes held back on, thinking, oh, well, maybe another time when I have more time. And I am trying to, like I was speaking about earlier, take the handbrake off of those thoughts in my head that say another time, and stepping forward in even small ways. Even if art is not your thing, perhaps you want to use anything, pencil, crayons, cutouts, collage cutouts from magazines that you no longer want to keep, or you can get them from secondhand bookshops or libraries. You can buy some gardening magazines, and make yourself a collage, anything. The horizon is wide in terms of creativity. As I said, there is no limit to your imagination and to your designing. That was my wild garden, and here on the page, around about page 2, it says draw a map of your secret garden. So I incorporated pastels in this particular drawing and some cutouts from magazines. You may like to leave a whole portion of your page open as you explore in your times with the Lord, and as you go deeper into the secret garden. There are new dimensions and new areas and new places that you may want to incorporate into your map. So perhaps you would like to leave a whole portion just blank and waiting as you go deeper into the garden with Him together. So that is from the prayer journal, some of the activations that I've done there. And I would like to now read to you a poem from this lovely book, the Oxford Book of English Mystical Verse. This is a poem by Dietz, and it's called The King's Daughter. I am beloved of the Prince of the Garden of Pleasure. I am beloved. I am his pearl and his dove, and his heart's hidden treasure. I am approved. Today he has given his love, oh, his love without measure, which can never be moved. He has called me beloved of my soul, and my heart beats, repeating, beloved of my soul. And my blood dances swift through my veins in a musical beating. The twin currents roll, pouring forth their wild love, then again to their center retreating, under righteous control. O King of my life's hidden spring, O Lord of my being, beloved of my heart, our lips breathed one prayer, and our souls, in a sudden agreeing, knit, joining each part of the long severed word that the prophets beheld in their seeing. Beloved, thou art. A portion of the poem, The King's Daughter. I will now be sharing some beautiful paintings from Beningfield's countryside as an inspiration to your own times in the secret garden. This beautiful book, Beningfield's countryside, and the paintings that are in it. This again is one of the books that I use to encourage me and inspire me in the secret garden, by Gordon Beningfield. So, art, music, poetry, these are all wonderful ways to enter into the secret garden of the heart, and to take time to soak in the moment, to contemplate the beauty. These are all wonderful ways of slowing down, and we all need this so much. Is a wonderful way to enter into the secret garden. When we look at these beautiful, inspiring paintings, take one of these paintings and find yourself in an entirely different world where there is no limitation. just possibility. I'm going to finish off this time together with you today in a time of prayer, and subscribe to be reminded, to be notified of all the videos that will be coming up on a weekly basis. And also, all of the links will be in the description below if you would like to get a hold of any of the books I've mentioned today. And so I'd just like to pray with you in closing. I pray, Lord, that your hand will be at work in the lives of every person listening today. I pray, Lord, that as your child takes time to imagine themselves in the secret garden with you, that you will open up new dimensions of prayer, new dimensions of the secret garden of the heart, Lord, that as they create and as they draw and as they think about the garden and the places that are important to them, that your presence will rest with them, that they will feel you showing them a new vision. Lord, I just speak over each and every person listening, a new heart, a new mind, a new sense of vision opening up for this year ahead. Lord, that every single area that needs your refreshing touch will receive it now by the breath of your Spirit. I pray, Lord, that the childlike imagination will be revived. I pray, Lord, that every area that is being lifted up to you in prayer, that you will meet with them, Lord, that you will meet with them in a very special way. I pray for a special word from your heart that will just be something to hold on to today. For that family member, for that health issue, for any grief, any loss they are carrying, I pray for your word to meet with them, Lord. I pray for your Spirit to rest with them, Lord. I pray for every anxiety to leave them, every worry to be cast upon you, Lord. I thank you, Holy Spirit, that you have placed your spacious presence around them and give them a sense of possibility, of new options and new ways opening up, where they have felt like they've come to a dead end in certain areas of their lives. Lord, I ask you to open up the horizon, as we were speaking about earlier. Lord, that there will be a sense of possible option. I ask you for provision in every area. I ask you for breakthrough. I ask you, Lord, for your healing touch, and especially for that creative imagination to rise up inside of them as they start imagining new places to rest with you in prayer, especially this year, Lord, where we really need a new sense of possibility to open up for us. I commit them to you, Lord, and I bless you. I bless you now in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit. And may you have a wonderful week ahead, and I look forward to our next time together. Goodbye.